Good morning, everyone. Let me get myself into the studio here so you can see me. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Real Living in Nashville. And OMG, I think we are all in the season of summer. Why? Because I think throughout most of the U.S., at least 2/3, we've got this nice summer heat that we have to find a way to enjoy. So whether you are maybe watching, listening to this episode poolside, at the beach, on your patio, sipping some coffee, welcome. Let me make sure my co-host is ready to join us today. So let me knock on her co-host room. Let's go. All right, I think she's ready. Everyone. So here we go. Hello, Denise.
Good morning from Nashville.
Absolutely.
Nash
Good morning.
Vegas.
Yes. Good morning from the music city capital of the world.
Yes.
So, Denise, it seems like it's been a long time since our last episode, and it makes sense. You were busy with some fun activities, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's talk about the one that I know had you flying in the sky. You travel from Nashville to West Phoenix, and then you came back. That was for like some professional development activities. Talk to us about that.
It was actually with the Nashville Chamber. And once a year, the Nashville Chamber does a trip to another city in the United States. Actually, we're broadening. We may go to Canada. We're really pushing for London. But the idea is that we go to cities who've really done a great job at tackling the issues that we have in Nashville. Okay. So two of the issues that are key are homelessness and transit. And Nashville is, you see people saying Nashville's filled up. Well, Nashville's not filled up. We just don't have a great transit system.
True.
So we traveled there. The mayor was there, the vice mayor, the CEOs of the largest companies here, the medical people, the CEOs of Vanderbilt, those type of people were on this trip. And we go to learn from them. And so we would listen to a panel from Phoenix talk about transit. They might talk about homelessness. They might talk about building. But it was a way for us to hear what they had done and then for them to shine and share. And then there was interaction, and we moved venues all day. And the second day ended with the mayor of Phoenix and the mayor of Nashville, Freddie O'Connell, speaking at this beautiful site with the mountains in the background. And they each just were very vulnerable about the things that kept them awake at night. The mayor of Phoenix is in her late 30s.
Okay.
And so she, a lot of people can relate to her with having children and being involved. So that was really good, not only for them to learn, for us to learn from them, but also for each of us to meet the other. And you were encouraged during the trip that you never sit beside the same person twice.
That's good.
So you never know who's going to sit beside you. And you learned a lot and you got out of your box. So it was a fabulous trip, a great way to interact, to learn more about Nashville. And I'll tell you a little funny. Okay. One thing that Phoenix was passionate about is that they have water, because evidently there was an article, I believe it's in the Wall Street Journal, that said Phoenix doesn't have water. Don't move to Phoenix. They're running out of water.
Right.
So every person that got up there talked to us about water, and we have water, and we have water. So at the mayor's dinner, two groups said every time they say water, we're going to have a drink.
Okay.
We finally had to cut them off because they said water so many times. Flying home, I happened to be in the back seat, and we had most of the plane was ours, and the president of the Nashville Chamber was in the seat near me. And we were talking to the flight attendant. So she said, ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention?
Yeah.
Phoenix has water. Please ring your call button. And you could hear ding, 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 ding. So it was just funny. And that's just kind of the whole mood of the trip.
Good.
That everybody shared and I met met my council person that I didn't know. I met
Okay.
the mayor. I met the head of Vanderbilt hospital system. I met the
Nice.
CEO of several major groups here, and just all kinds of people who are in very influential positions. But it's because that they work hard, they make great decisions. So it's something I would like to do. There were 4 total realtors who went, me, one other realtor, another person who is the CEO of Greater Nashville Realtors. So he runs our association,
Got it.
and our elected president. So that
That's good.
it was good for us. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it showed that realtors care, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. I think for your business and my business, it's always about relationships. And so when and if you can expand those relationships beyond our own larger backyard, even better. Why? Because who knows? People may get tired of Phoenix and say, Ms. LaGrange, I need to move to Nashville.
Yeah. You never know. You never
You
know.
never know. You never
Are the,
know.
and the relationships I made there are people that, maybe they have their own realtor. A lot of people have no 12 realtors. Most people know between 6 and 12 realtors. But,
Really?
people are always looking for someone who's going to represent them in their best way. And I love telling people about Nashville. So now I even know more
Yeah.
about Nashville from that
You're
perspective.
spot on, spot on. And I know after that you attended a national like lender event. What did you learn from that event?
I learned it was at USM. Am I saying that right? US United
UWM?
UWM,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
The CEO of the company is very passionate.
yeah,
One thing he said was wake up 15 minutes early every day.
yeah.
Every day. And you thought, well, why? And he said, if you take 15 minutes times 7 days, you've got almost 2 hours. By month, you've got 8 hours,
Right.
and just keep multiplying that. And all of a sudden you found extra days that
Yeah.
you didn't have. So I thought that was kind of insightful.
Okay.
'Cause 15 minutes isn't going to change our sleep,
No,
but it could change our day.
that's right.
Um, so also learned that there's so many kinds of loans that I did not know about.
Okay.
And you probably can fill in on that, but there's just loans that you can get with zero. There's loans that,
Sure.
it's not a one size fits all.
It
Everybody
is
doesn't
not.
need
Yeah.
this mortgage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is absolutely not. And maybe toward the end of today's episode, we'll touch on that a little bit, and perhaps it'll jog your memory with like, oh yeah, Bill, you're spot on. And then between or with these two activities, you also took some necessary R&R time. So you went to Hawaii. Good for you.
I did. I went to Kauai for a few days.
Okay.
And, since my son is a Southwest pilot and I have free flight benefits,
Oh yeah.
why not try to fly on the busiest weekend ever in history? So I couldn't fly out on Saturday
Okay.
after Memorial Day, but I
Okay.
did manage to get out on Sunday,
Sunday.
and I flew from Nashville to Oakland.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, to LA, to Oakland, and then to Kauai.
Got it.
And it's beautiful there. Beautiful. It's a smaller island.
Yeah.
A little bit quieter, much quieter than some of the other islands.
Yeah. Not as commercial. Not as commercial.
It's not at
Yeah.
all. Not at
Yeah.
all. So have you been?
No, I've never been. But having heard from enough friends and family members, that's what they've always told me, which is some of the other islands are just more natural. And if you're wanting to get away for really R&R, less commercial stuff, yes, you want to do those islands. So, hey, that sounds wonderful. So you're back, you're ready, you're charged up, right?
Yes. I have 6 live listings and one coming later this week. I think that's right. Or maybe it's 7 and 8. I can't remember the numbers. But the interesting thing is houses are sitting on the market more.
Are they?
People
So are you saying it's So are you saying the dynamics have changed from it being a seller's market to now being more of a balanced market?
Yeah, I think balance would be a good word. I don't think we've moved over to a buyer's market.
Yeah.
Partially because of interest rates, and prices are holding. But homeowners, everybody believes your home is worth more than maybe the market says it is, because it's worth more to you.
True.
But the market speaks. After your home is on the market for a couple weeks, the market tells you.
Yeah.
Because if your home is priced right and it is staged and looks good and well maintained, you can get offers. But when you price it high, Lawrence Yoon,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's Yoon or Yun, I'm not sure how you say it. He spoke in Nashville, and one of the things he showed us was a graph, and it showed when you start off with your home priced above where it should be, how each week, and each day, how it went down. But if you priced it at market instead of above market, where everybody says, we'll just price it a little above, how you end up with a greater selling price.
Yeah.
So, it's really difficult talking to my clients about that. And so my conversations, I do a lot of staging for my clients.
Yeah.
So the conversation has changed to, hey, we have to make a price cut within a certain amount of time, because it's my energy, my money, and things that I have to take care of just like they do.
Yeah.
And ultimately price it right. The market tells you very, very fast if you're right. So that's been a lot of learning lesson for people on the market now, because the market's not continuing to go up. Now, when we get some rate cuts, that can change.
It's gonna fuel the energy. And so with that, let's take a look, everyone, at this listing of Denise's and one of your peers. This is in Middle Tennessee, right?
Yeah, it's on the Tennessee River, which is about an hour from Nashville.
Yeah. And from the look of it, I mean, it offers, in my opinion, a nice blend of, a lot of space, rural setting. But as we flip through some of your professional pictures, oh my gosh, it's got, the walkout basement, water view. Who doesn't want that, correct?
That deck is spectacular.
Yeah, that deck is gorgeous.
When we were there, the photographer also did some videos.
Okay.
And there were two eagles that put on a show.
Really?
It was remarkable. It was as if they knew we were filming them, and they just flew all around over the water into the trees.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing. You see barges there. And it's in a gated neighborhood.
Yeah.
There is that's actually back, that one picture back is a dumb waiter. So that's nice to throw your groceries in on the first floor and bring them up.
Yeah.
So it's a lovely home. And because Keller Williams syndicates all of our listings that are $1 million or over, this is listed in the Wall Street Journal real estate listings.
Oh, good for you.
So, some extra coverage for people who are looking there, and it's for our clients. It's nice for them to open up. I don't know if anybody opens up the paper anymore, but to look online and see this. But my co-list agent is from the West Tennessee area, and this, as you know, the Tennessee River divides Middle and West Tennessee.
You're right.
So and he's a member of that MLS there. So it's a real natural partnership for us.
That makes sense. It's the best way of sharing and cross-fertilizing both of your spheres of influence to attract as many of the right buyers. And from the look of it, it's a newer construction home, correct?
It is at 2020. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, Bill, you'll appreciate this. The lady lived in Naperville for years and years, and she's from this area, as was her husband.
Okay.
They've been married years and years, and so they moved to Tennessee, back to Tennessee, and they built this home, built it just the way they wanted it, furnished it and all that. And unfortunately he passed away a couple of years ago. And her financial advisor in Naperville knew someone that I had sold a home to here in Nashville that moved from, am I saying it right? Naperville? Is that right?
Yeah, you said spot on. Yeah.
So he called him and said, hey, she needs somebody to help her sell this home. And so that's how that referral came about. So you never, ever know.
Yeah, you never ever know. So gorgeous listing. And just takes the one right buyer. So good luck to you and your peer.
Thank you. We've got an interested buyer, so we'll see.
Okay, good.
It's definitely a unique property.
Yeah, good. Let's now pivot our conversation today in this episode to talk about, you touched on it earlier. You mentioned OMG. Oh my gosh, Bill, there's so many financial and loan solutions. Which particular one really surprised you?
Oh gosh, I wish I could remember. It was a new, I think it was more of a 1% down than a 0% down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. Right.
Yeah. You can probably refresh my memory on it.
Well, that is a loan solution available from the general marketplace. And this whole idea of a 1% down is to solve the problem of the buyers who can afford to borrow money, but for whatever the reasons are, they have not been able to save up enough to serve as their traditional down payment. So that is certainly the solution to solve that immediate problem. Now, having said that, there's probably some fine print caveats. So for those of you watching who know someone who needs to know about this type of mortgage financial solution, full disclosure, there are some fine print caveats. So it's not right for everyone, but once you read those fine print qualifiers, it's an important thing to know about.
Yeah.
I know before we started our live stream, you touched upon the one thing that you feel like is really going to help, and that is being able to buy a home, leverage like a seller concession to do a rate buy down, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just did one.
Yeah. And I think with what you're kind of touching upon today, Denise, with a market moving more to a balanced market, where sellers, don't have the 15 offers that they have to stare at with your help.
Yeah.
Being able to have that conversation with them about how a seller concession can attract the right buyer and create that win-win, it is spot on. And so for all of you watching, yes, a seller concession is what's used to fund a buyer's rate buy down. It can be a temporary rate buy down for the initial 3 years if someone needs that, 2 years all the way down to 1 year. So this is where, for those of you who are buyers about to enter into the market, especially in the greater Nashville area, reach out to Denise and or myself. We'd be glad to have an in-depth conversation with you to fast track your knowledge about this. And toward the end of the episode, we'll certainly share with you how you can contact us. What about, in your opinion, like buying almost like cash? I know when you are representing a seller, that's always like, music to your ears, right?
Yeah. So when you say that, are you saying to waive appraisal, or are you saying to?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying for some sellers who have already sold the property, maybe they've sold it 6 months ago, maybe they're in process of wanting to sell it. Buying like cash means they could use a bridge loan.
Okay. Yeah.
To carve out, tap all of the equity of their vacating property, and then turn right around with you as their buyer's broker and buy like cash, maybe even this 94 Mariah Lane property. You never know.
You could Yeah, you could do almost any property like
Yeah,
that.
if they're coming from a high cost real estate metro area, whether it be let's pick on some states, whether it be California, the Southwest, the Northeast, right? They want to escape, you know, those metro areas for the things that don't offer them what they want. Then yes, they can certainly leverage bridge financing, carve out all equity on a home that they're about to vacate, and buy
Yes.
just like cash with you. The other thing that I would also stress as a mortgage professional for all of you listening is there is another way to buy almost like cash, and that is with your chosen lender, go beyond being just pre-approved, meaning go beyond that. I think almost every lender offers the ability for you, buyer, to put together an application with a to be determined property. And then you go through the entire process at least 2/3 of the way, so that the only thing remaining to close out the purchase transaction is simply appraisal, if it's necessary. Notice how I'm saying that. And of course, title. And those things are usually things that are being done, can be started while you're doing like inspection review, doing your during your due diligence period. Yeah.
I think it would be helpful if you describe the difference between pre-approval and pre-qualification,
Sure.
and what that means and when a realtor is submitting an offer, because
Gotcha.
that matters, and an astute realtor knows the difference.
Okay, I can speak to that. So, a pre-approval has many perceptions, but at the very core, it does mean this. A pre-approval means buyer John Doe has provided basic information to a mortgage originator to be able to determine some of the key pillars of financing. Is your credit strong enough? Is your income sufficient or more than sufficient to show that you can afford the loan that you need to buy the property? The next is, of course, other monthly debt expenses. In a perfect world, if you have no debt, then that's a no-brainer. But that's not always real life. So the other monthly debt expenses can include car payments, car leases, getting it more complicated. Other monthly debt expenses could include child support payments, right? We now are in a world where there's blended families,
Absolutely, yes.
right? And so a pre-approval means from a lender, I've looked at enough of that stuff, but we've stopped there. Going past and going beyond just being pre-approved means the mortgage originator has requested and has reviewed all of that information. But going beyond a pre-approval means the originator has actually put together as complete of an application so that mortgage loan underwriting, the second set of eyes, ears, and hands, have done their due diligence. And the way I would explain it is a pre-approval is maybe getting you a third of the way into the process of borrowing money. A conditional approval is getting you almost 2/3 at least of the way into the process of closing the purchase transaction. So that's why I use it as it's almost like buying with cash.
Is that the same as fully underwritten?
Yes. That's
Okay.
also, yep, that's another way lenders probably define it, a fully underwritten approval. So yes. And in my mind, for the buyers who are ready and willing, uh, a full approval condition on appraisal and title is really what you should try to do.
Yeah, I would agree, and those are the ones that, especially in multiple offers,
Yes.
when you have I think also the key is that the lender information be in the offer. I send a really nice email with my offers and explaining, so you don't have to dig through it. You do have to dig through it, but it's easy to summarize there. And is to give a contact for a lender and say, call them. You ask them the questions. We're confident in our offer and our ability to get this closed. It's got to appraise. Hey, that's on you.
It's got to appraise, right? Anytime you're seeking third-party financing, it's got to appraise, because they want to know that the loan that they're going to place on a real estate property is worth, what the property is going to trade at. So for sure. So that's why these are some of the things I think in the conversation today that you and I are having. It's so important for us to stress this, to remind our relationships and our clients about this. You agree?
And to work together.
Yeah, we got to work together.
It's a symphony, because if we don't practice and we get everything ready, when that house is found, we've got to get the offer and have everything ready. I have the email ready most of the time before the documents are ready.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It's professional.
Yeah,
I got a really nice listing recently because they said I answered the phone and I was professional.
Yeah.
And they said that differentiated me from so many others, which I thought was really interesting. So answer the phone.
Yeah. Answer the phone. You got to be accessible. In this day and age where we operate our professional lives with text and email, nothing beats good old fashioned answer the phone.
Yep.
I'm right there with you.
Yep.
So with that, nice segue. So ladies and gentlemen, sellers and buyers, whoever you are, if you do need the right professional to answer the phone, Denise and I are all about that. If you are looking to sell or buy real estate in the greater Nashville metro area, or heck, even as 94 Mariah Lane as a perfect example, in the greater Middle Tennessee area, right, Denise?
There you go.
There you go.
The license goes from end to end of the state. There
you go. And by the way, you got friends of friends that can pitch in and help. I know that now.
Absolutely.
So for those of you who are potential sellers and buyers, how do you get us to answer your phone call? It is so simple. All you need to do is scan the QR codes that you see here, and Denise and myself will gladly answer the phone and start that conversation with you. So Denise, as we wrap up today's episode of Real Living in Nashville, what do you have on tap today, the rest of the week? Because, hey, summer is here.
So I have a friend visiting from Canada.
No.
He's here for the Rolls-Royce group or something to that effect. So
that sounds like fun.
Incredible cars. So I'm going to meet he and his friends for lunch.
Okay.
And I had a listing, not the one we just showed, but another one. I had a broker's open yesterday. And then last week I had a really big evening happy hour open house for my friends and met a lot of the residents in the building. So I've got a lot of follow-ups with people to say, thanks for coming by. If you know of someone that's interested. So that's what today is. That's what today. And I have a condo full of 8 medical school residents who are staying in my condo this weekend. You probably just heard the cat rearranging something upstairs. I don't know what it was, but it broke. I do know that. So I've got them here for the next 4 or 5 days as they attend the American Optometric Association convention that's in Nashville.
That sounds like fun. And that certainly sounds like a very busy schedule. So, ladies and gentlemen, today, thank you for joining into our conversation about real estate, real living in Nashville. And Denise, enjoy today, the rest of your week. Take lots of pictures with those fancy cars.
Well, I don't know if I get to see the cars or not. I need to go show someone a home in Murfreesboro. So we'll see.
All right.
Well, bye.
We'll see you in the next episode, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye.